Okay, welcome everyone to the inaugural Surfing Sisters University class. I'm your professor Tracy, and I'm going to teach you how to use Shutterfly to create a digital scrapbook. So the first thing we're going to do is share our screen. So give me a second here. All right, give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Perfect. Okay, so with Shutterfly, the basis is they're taking your digital images, uploading it to their website, and you can create a variety of products. So the product that we're going to talk about today is a photo book. So obviously you have to have an account with Shutterfly to create any of their products. So log into your account, which I've already done. And on their homepage, they have all of their products listed up at the top of their toolbar. So we're going to go ahead and go to photo books. And this is all assuming that you have loaded up pictures under My Photos for the project that you want to do. So for photo books, they come in a variety of sizes, a variety of covers. And for our purposes, we're going to create a 8x8 souvenir travel photo book. And we're going to choose something called Custom Path. There is a Make My Book service, which is done by a designer and is expensive and unnecessary. There's a Simple Path, which takes all your photos and just blasts them into their template, which I give a huge thumbs down because you know what you want to do and what you want to organize. So we're going to go Custom Path. And this is where you enter in for all of the sizes. So for our purposes, we're going to do an 8x8, which is about this big. It's perfect for if you go to New York for a couple days and you have like 400 photos of New York, it works. If you want to do an entire year, a 12x12 is a great book. I've done that before, just kind of like a yearbook for our family. And click on 8x8. One thing you probably saw is there's a lot of sale prices underneath it. I'm going to give you a hint. There's always a sale for Shutterfly. There's always a coupon. There's always a sale. But I'll tell you what, I learned you cannot stack your coupons anymore, which means you can't get free shipping if you're getting 50% off your photo book. So you really need to watch your sales and see which one will give you the best discount. And the one that they automatically enter into your shopping cart is not always going to be the best discount. So make sure you look around and make sure you collect your coupon codes and your shipping codes and see the emails that they sent you, because eventually you'll get one of the best coupons. And the trick is, create your project, save your project, wait for the sale, unless you absolutely have to have it for a gift. So once you've created the size of book that you want, it's going to take you into all the categories for styles of book. Now, here's a storytelling style right here. It has an S next to it. That's going to be more expensive. And that's basically, they've hired designers to create what they find are the more popular style books, like Sparkle and Shine, Everyday Bold Type, Modern Travel. But once you learn how to do Shutterfly, you can kind of create these things yourself. And I think it's more personal. But if you don't have that kind of creativity, or you don't have the time and you don't mind paying a little extra, go for the storyteller style. We're going to go for the standard style. What you'll also see is you have themes on the left-hand column. So if we're going to create an everyday book, I'd click that and it would show you the everyday styles. Or you can choose a baby, a graduation, a Mother's Day, and it'll show you the styles of books for what they think would work for a graduation or everyday. So I'm going to unclick graduation. We're going to go for everyday themes. And for our purposes, we're going to go with Familygram. Why not? So this is our book size. You just want to confirm what book size you're going with. And then book type. I like the hard photo cover book. It's the basic kind of glossy cover. I think premium leather is always a nice choice, but it's way more expensive. Professional flush mount albums are basically flat pages, and those are really expensive. So if you're doing your wedding album, that's a great book to have. Soft photo cover books are kind of weird. They're like the old-fashioned fabric ones that 15 years ago they started off with. So we like the hard photo cover book. And I'm going to go with standard pages. And that is just regular glue binding. It's not perfect binding. So if you want the perfect binding, you can do standard or deluxe lay flat pages, just like the professional one. So next thing you want to do is click on personalize. So personalize takes you to the interface that they have created for you to design your book in. So if you've ever used any kind of Photoshop or Procreate or any kind of Inkscape, even MS Paint, it's kind of the same idea. So I'm just going to click out of here because we're going to start it my way. And it'll always enter you with the covers of the book. But the first thing you want to do is get your photos. So down at the bottom of the screen, and this is usually pretty intuitive once you finally get into it. I've already loaded my photos up to Shutterfly, so I'm going to select them from Shutterfly. Let's find an album we want to use. So I'm going to go to albums and my albums, and I have like 18 years of photos loaded on Shutterfly, so see you guys laughing. So give it a second here. And this is where my computer decides it doesn't want to work. If we can't get into my albums, which we can, all right, you know what? We have, let's go for vintage scans. I like vintage scans. So we're gonna just start selecting photos that we want, or you can select all photos. At some point, there's a place on here you can do that. Here, let's just select all the photos. It brings in 299 photos. We're obviously not gonna use them all. So this is the project that I've been working in recently. I'm going to put them in my photo tab, which is a little section at the bottom of your book that you can scroll through to pick your photos. Otherwise, it's going to automatically fill your pages, which we don't want to do. I'm going to hit OK. And it usually happens pretty fast. It starts to populate down at the bottom of the screen all the photos you want. And you can make it a little bigger if you want. So I really like this old-fashioned photo. Well, let's find, how about a nice family house? I'm going to drag it and it shows up on the cover. And I'm going to click on that green area and I'm going to go vintage Ford photos. The text box over to the right is where you can decide how you want your fonts to look. Now, when you brought in a certain style, I think we brought in we brought in the family style. The family styles automatically trade Gothic font. It starts loading it in exactly the font that they have for that style. So if we want to change it, which is what I like to do sometimes, you have a font menu of preloaded fonts from Shutterfly. So if I think maybe this might look a little better, it's great. I love it. Problem is it doesn't fit. Just start reducing the size of the font. One thing Shutterfly also does is if you make an incorrect spelling and you hit OK, except it's in a title, it usually tells you have something spelled wrong, but it didn't, so that's okay. I think it's because it's a title. And if you want to add a subheader, you can do it in that section too. And you can even change the font if you want. Obviously, this is not how I would normally do a book, but I'm just showing you how to use it. The spine enters here. And if you want a back cover, you can drag and drop a photo into the back cover. You don't have to, but we're going to go ahead and just do it. And then you have extra places. Anytime you hover, there's places to type. So moving on. I'm going to go past this one particular page because this is just like page 1. So when you have your pages in front of you, you have the design that the family style photo book gave you. But then if you look to your left, you're going to see a variety of templates that you can add to your page. So first thing you want to do is click on the page you want to edit, because I've done it before where I think I'm putting the photos on the right page and I'm not. So click on this one. So we're on the yellow page right here. And think about if you want to put in 4 photos into your page, the number of photos in the layout. It shows you the different layouts that you can use. And we're going to select this one. So this is for the photo layouts. If you decide you don't want your first page to be yellow, you can click on backgrounds. Now these are the backgrounds for the style of photo book we chose. But if you decide you want a different color, go to Get More Backgrounds. And it really does walk you through. Anytime you go to a new place you haven't been before, it gives you little hints like this. So if you like something you see, put a heart next to it. So that's a cool one. Remember the Storyteller S, that's going to charge you more. Oh, look, it's part of this project. So, hey, we get it for nothing on this one. Interesting. Makes me wonder if they're giving us free Storyteller this week. Sometimes they do run sales. All right, I like this one too. It's kind of cute, kind of vintagey. So, but we also need to remember if we want to add it to the project, you need to select it. So adding a heart next to it just creates your favorites, but in order to bring it to the project, you do have to select it. So we're going to add these to the project and they end up here. So I have polka dots. Sure, why not? But it would be more fun if we had stickers. So these stickers are cute little things that you can drop on and add to your book. Now you might notice dragging and dropping brought us into advanced editing. So in advanced editing, you can freely move, rotate, resize, etc. All of the little things you can do to resize and rotate and move are part of your drag and drop features here or up here. So I think I'm going to put a sticker here and I'm going to frame and I'm also going to rotate it to the other side. We're going to add some photos in. Oop, that sometimes happens. And you know what? You can just undo it using this arrow or using your keyboard shortcuts. If you don't get it exactly when you're in advanced editing, if you don't get exactly into the box, it's going to throw it wherever. I'm not able to do it properly, so I'll have to do it in the other thing. So you can still type in what you want here. But with advanced editing on, if you don't have enough room, you can actually give yourself more room because they do give you space for text based on your template, but advanced editing allows you to edit it and move it however you want, whenever you want. Once you have the style you want, you can leave advanced editing and go back to regular. So now see, I have that box I wanted to put something in. It worked this time. So does everyone understand what's going on? Thumbs up. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is editing photos within the template that you have. So this photo here seems a little off center. Make sure you're out of advanced editing and double click on the photo. I'm going to crop and move down. You can change it to black and white, sepia. Those are very early 2000 editing tools. I would just ignore that kind of stuff. If you don't like what you did, you can hit reset. But I'm going to keep it like that because I think it's going to fit in my square better. So same for this one. One of the rules I have about vintage photos is don't edit anything out that could be considered historical or something. If you have a picture of your house and there's a picture of grandma on the wall, what happens if that picture gets lost? Well, you have a picture of the picture. Or if you want to edit out something, but there's an old-fashioned car in the background, don't edit out that old-fashioned car. That's just my rule, but it's something to think about. Don't edit out things you may miss someday. One thing I noticed right here, this isn't the right kind of photo. So I'm going to actually replace that photo with something that's a little more size friendly for vertical photo. And all it does is take it from there and it replaces it and puts the photo that you didn't use back into the bottom of your photo bar. Now, one thing I do that helps me out, especially have a really long book, is I hide the photos that I used. There's a check mark next to the photos that you used, but if you hide them, sometimes it helps you realize you don't have that much more to do, but it also takes that stuff out. It's just easier to find items. So I like my page. So now you want to edit to the page to your right. Make sure you actually click on that page again. One thing over in the project section is something called idea pages. And idea pages, if you're tired of doing the same layout of whatever you're doing and you want something new, you can look at idea pages. So I think that this is a really good photo layout. So I'm going to drag and drop. So kind of vintagey and fun. So let me find a good vintage photo that I think will fit nicely here. And how about this one? Great photo. And you notice that you can see behind this piece of artwork, there is a transparency feature in advanced editing that you can use. So because I want to be able to edit this, I'm going to go in advanced editing. I'm going to make this a little smaller, and I'm going to move the text over. You can do stuff like that too. Now remember, the closer you get to the inside of the book, the chances of it getting cut off in the printing process are pretty good. So don't put text too close to the spine or it might disappear. And Shutterfly will remind you that things are going off the edge of the page as well, and it might get cut off. But sometimes, you know, you kind of take your chances and it works out really well, and you just override it and say, yes, I know what I'm doing. You can leave it. So we have all of our pages here. We have our idea pages, our embellishments. We can add to the idea page. Let's say, I don't know, we want to add this to it. You can do whatever you want. There are kind of fun little taglines that they have. The ones that says like this, the white ones are nice to overlay. You can't obviously see it there, but they are transparent, so you don't get a white box around them. So there's all different kinds of ways you can create your design. One of the things I like to do with embellishments is go to ribbons. And with ribbons, they usually go across the page. And what you can do with these is you can layer them. So you can send it to the back. I don't know if you saw what just happened, but you can put them behind your photos, or you can bring them to the front, however you want it. You can add text boxes from up there, or photo boxes from up there. You can add text boxes. You can add frames. So let's say this photo, it needs a white frame. It's really just designing what you want to do. So now that you've created your designs, let's pretend that we filled the entire book. You think maybe, well, I think those photos would look better towards the back of the book. And so you can actually move the pages of your book around. Now remember, when you move, it's moving odd pages. So if you stick it in front of your even spread, it's going to bump everything over. So unless you really know that this is what you want to do, make sure you move a spread, not just one page at a time, because then your spreads will start breaking up. And that's frustrating because that's happened to me before. So now that we think, okay, our book is designed the way we want it, we have a cover, we have interiors, you can go to options. And these are options based on what you want to spend on your book. We already selected hard photo. We're not going to upgrade it to a black leather or a white linen. You can put a memorabilia pocket in the back if you want. That's a great option. Removing the Shutterfly logo for $8. I'm going to leave it. Nobody cares. 6 color printing. These books are printed great. Don't need 6 colors. And a gift box is always nice if you want to spend $5.60. So the next thing you would do is add to cart, but wait. Oh, I'm not really sure. I think I made a mistake. We're going to go back to edit. So until you put it in the cart and buy it, you can always edit your book. Let me show you where it goes. Oh, I will tell you, it will autosave, but we're going to save it so that we can make sure that it's there. And we're going to save as Vintage Ford book so that we know where it is in our projects, what we're working on. There are times where I'll have, or I used to have, a photo book for Grandma Bank, a photo book for Grandma Kingsbury, and the two would be different because I would write towards them when I journaled for them individually. So even though it's the same photo book, I might go in and change the text. So you can duplicate photo books and you can change text. You can also duplicate photo books and change sizes, which is kind of cool too. So I'm going to save this and I'm going to go back to Shutterfly, and you're going to be able to find it in my projects. So you go to my account, my projects, Vintage Ford, and you can edit it again. So you can do lots of changes to it. You can share your book. One thing I've done is created a book and I've shared the project with family members so they can buy it themselves. And also they can add photos and subtract photos if they want to for vacation photos. So if I do all the work, which I'm fine with, they can add pages of their own and edit however they want. They can also delete pages, and you can add up to a certain number of pages per size per book. I don't know what the exact number is, but when they give you the photo book price, that is with a determined number of pages. So let's say your 8x8 book has 20 pages, but you can go up to 48 pages in it. You're going to pay for those extra pages unless you get a deal that's for unlimited pages. So you can make the book as big as they'll let you. You can make it as small as you want. I can't think of anything else. Oh, look, you can export to PDF. I haven't seen that before. That's kind of fun. So you can share the file and people can just view it on their computer if they want. You don't even have to print it. So it works for me. So we're going to, oh, here's the change size. So you can change size too. I'm going to exit to my account. And I'm going to open this up to any questions. So I'm going to have you guys unmute yourself. Do you have any questions?
I have a question, Tracy. So once you do your book, I saw how you showed us it on, how we can move pages around.
Mm-hmm.
But is there a way, just to say, I finished a book, or I think I finished a book. Now I want to pretend like it's sitting in front of me and I can just flip through it to make sure it flows the way I want. Can you do that?
Yes, I can. So we're going to go arrange. Okay. Actually, I think we're going to go to options. It might be preview. Hello, I knew I was looking for something. So this is preview and you can hit play. So I don't know how fast it'll go on here, but it will open the book for you. And you can hit pause and you can move the pages yourself. So yes, it does allow you to do that.
That's good, because I can imagine putting this together and thinking I had it one way and then being surprised that I didn't have it the way I wanted to. So
yeah. And
I have two questions.
Sure.
It comes with fonts that are loaded for Shutterfly.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a font that I love, can I upload a font?
No.
Okay.
That is one of the limitations. You cannot upload your own stickers. You cannot upload your own fonts.
Okay.
I think that's by design, because probably the better fonts that come with the more expensive projects are there for a reason. And
okay.
One of the things I found is some people like Mixbook better. That's another company because it offers different styles, different stickers, different fonts.
Okay. And then you said you can duplicate photo books and change sizes.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do to duplicate it?
Okay. So if you go under save as.
Okay.
This is Vintage Ford book. We're going to call it version 2. So now I'm in version 2. And so I'm going to go under my project and save, change size.
Okay.
8x8 really translates to 12x12 really well. 8x8,
Oh, okay.
yeah, you don't want to translate to something. It's going to be squirrely if you change it to a size that is slightly, the dimensions don't quite match, like a square to a rectangle. So for 8x8, we can transfer it to 12x12, and that's usually pretty seamless.
Okay.
So, but it does warn you, things may fit or wrap differently. So it's really good to just kind of review the book to make sure that it has what you want. So we'll change the size. And because it went from 8x8 to 12x12, it's really not that much different.
And then you could still hit preview to see how the book flows, and it'll be in the 12x12 format.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Fabulous.
Okay. If there's a questions?
So far, yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Well, I can't think of anything else. I do want to give you a quick review of some of the other products that I think are really good. We can leave here, don't have to worry about it. Some things that I think are a lot of fun are the puzzles. I've done puzzles before. I've done the easel back canvases. They're really nice. Their mugs are a typical dye sublimation mug print process. I mean, you can pretty much get those anywhere, but their mouse pads are also really high quality. So if you guys ever have any questions about things that I might have ordered, because I've been using Shutterfly for almost as long as it's been around, and they just keep adding more products and more products, let me know and I can tell you whether or not I've gotten it, if they're any good. Their blankets are usually really good too. So everything on here, just make sure you have a coupon, because you don't want to pay full price. So once you register, you'll just get bombarded with their sales. So you'll get a coupon, whether or not you want one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stop sharing, and I want to thank everyone for joining us. in this
Yes.
half an hour tour of how to create a Shutterfly book. And I probably talked way too fast, but
No, I got it all. Pretty
Yeah.
much. I did.
So-
Yeah, see the minutes. So,
Right. I'm going to go ahead and end the recording right now. And so
okay.
thanks everyone.
Thanks, Tracy.